Yes. Welcome, you guys, to another episode of Maverick Approach. Got a special guest today. Hey, first, go to MaverickApproach.com. Get yourself some merch for sure. So, we got Sirah coming up in here. She's a good friend of mine. I think she's about to jump in here right now. Let's get up in here. Let's go. I think I accepted her.
Hi.
Hey. Hey.
How you doing? It's been so long.
I know. How you been?
I'm so good. I feel like the screen is. I've been so good. How have you been?
Good,
Killing
good.
it.
Yeah. Good. Just doing my thing, and I got this whole show cracking off. I started it this year, and it's been good. So, but I appreciate your time, everybody. You guys, this is Sirah. This is an amazing artist. I've known her for over 10 years. Grammy award-winning, multi-platinum artist.
Mm.
Super talented all the way around, and definitely grateful to have her on the Maverick Approach. So
I'm
uh
so grateful, and not to cut you off, but this is my first live, I think, ever in my life. So this is like a huge moment for me, just
really,
in general. Yeah, I think so.
wow.
Well, that's why I was like, yo, how do you do it? You're like, just add yourself. I'm like, wow, okay, I'm on the internet for
Right,
real now.
right. You in here
I
for sure.
am.
So yeah, so just to jump right into it, happy belated birthday, because I know you just had a birthday.
Thank you.
For sure. What'd you do for your birthday?
I actually went to San Bernardino in the mountains and just meditated. Uh,
Nice, nice.
yeah, that's really where I'm at in my life. I'm like, I just want to get out of LA, to be honest.
Man,
Just want to
you
make
know what?
sure.
It's so crazy because like I'm an LA native and I've lived here my whole life, and it's changed since COVID. Like LA has changed. I love LA. It'll always be home, but like ever since that happened, like it's just been, homelessness is crazy, the taxes are crazy, like everything that's been going on is just, it's not it no more.
No, the taxes are insane, actually. And they made some law, I didn't follow it, but they said if you don't move out of California by a certain date, they're going to still charge you
I
taxes,
heard that.
right? That was
Yeah,
crazy. I'm like, bro, how?
yeah. And I think they're trying to detour people from moving here, and I think that's the whole game. And they want some type of mass exodus. So I've been making my plan. I got my roots in other places, Miami, Vegas, and other places. So,
I
but
deeply feel that.
yeah, it's
But
been great.
I do feel like the thing is I deeply love California, and I do feel as much as I wanted to get out of here, there's such a deep call to be here. It
Hmm.
feels like such an epicenter of everything. And
Right.
so I think to myself, like, if all the people left here, what would actually happen? At some point, we'll have to, because this is just going to get very strange here.
Right. No, for sure. With all the
Definitely an
laws and stuff.
epicenter.
Yeah. And that's the thing. California is passing all these crazy laws. Like, have you seen like all those people running into like the Gucci stores and Louis Vuitton stores?
Shooting everything up, absolutely. And even just at the end of my block, once a week I go and I try to make food, or I'll get donuts and I go hang out with everyone. But I have a whole compound at the end of my
Right.
street, and everybody's suffering from really extreme mental illness. It's actually
Right.
cute. One guy started like making a garden out there, so I've just been pulling up to his aloe vera,
Right.
but it's really sad what's happening.
Yeah. Somebody said New York too. Yeah, New York is getting bad.
New
Um,
York with the subways, with the women, the subways, and all those attacks. There's this guy, Hocus 45, who I love, and he's always kind of like getting all his boys to police the streets out there. Thank God. Yeah, I
mhm.
believe that.
Yeah. And that's another thing too with San Francisco. San Francisco is crazy right now.
San
Like, have you been up there
Francisco.
lately?
I went up there like a year and a half, and I was like, yo, this is Gotham City, like hands down the craziest thing of all time. People were just getting stabbed. The cops were running. I
Mhm.
was like, this is not a vibe.
Yeah.
It's so devastating what's been going on.
Yeah, it's crazy. So it's interesting to see like what's gonna happen with California, because I just did a video, I just released it, and it's getting crazy. Like, my whole page is about, like truth seeking and also about like conspiracy theories. But that's the thing, like a lot of these theories actually became true. So some stuff is like, you know, in the works, and other stuff is like actually like has come to pass. So
Well,
it's interesting. But with California, just on that topic, I just did a video about these companies, these like major corporations that nobody knows, and who, like, nobody knows who they are. They have limited information. They're buying up thousands and thousands of acres of land.
in
So
California.
in California, so
Yeah.
somebody just bought a ghost town in Eagle. It's called Eagle Mountain,
Wow.
and they bought the whole town for $22 million.
So
And
interesting. Is there any ties to BlackRock in that, or that's just a totally,
we don't know.
we don't know?
That's the thing. That's the thing. And then another company bought 50,000 acres around an Air Force base in California for $800 million. So
Yeah.
yeah, so it's crazy, and like there's like this whole thing with like a lawsuit going on of them trying to like potentially raise the prices of the land, but I think it's a little bit more insidious than that. So what do you?
Well, well, so let me just, so I grew up in total chaos. I grew up with heroin addicts and people who were nudists, and I was abused. And so as a result of that trauma, I have always been psychic, and I just believe that we all are, but some people don't have to tap into it as early as I did. So, you
Right.
know, at some point, but so when I was 17, I was a conspiracy theorist full blown. I was also cooking crystal meth with the Mexican drug cartel, and I was a real bad kid.
Oh shit.
So at 17, I heard a voice in my head, and it said, "You're going to stop doing all this and become a famous rapper." And I said, "I'm schizophrenic."
Mhm.
So so I called my mom and my grandmother, and I was like, "Yo, I'm schizophrenic." And but I'm going to listen to this thing and I'm going to follow it. And weirdly enough, it was actually just God, you know, talking to me, and everything that I was told, I followed, and eventually was led in these different ways and won a Grammy and did all this stuff. But I also kept this to myself. Was I supposed to say that? No, probably not. But that's the truth.
Right.
And so I've kept that to myself. I've had a, you know, a lucrative life coaching business. I've helped a lot of people, and I haven't really, I've told people my story of my life, but I haven't really told them about my relationship, you know, with God, or talked about it openly, and really just kept it to myself.
Right.
In 2018, I woke up one more time. Hi. And that same thing said, "Hi, in 2020, a pandemic will be unleashed. It'll be a choice between love and fear, and a lot of other things will happen." And so I went around in 2018 and I told everybody, got a lot of people on vitamins and different things. But yeah, this whole thing has been a plan that's been in the works. I believe everyone voted on it in the 70s at the UN, Agenda 21. And
Mhm.
so now we're living through that.
Wow. So you predicted this. So you actually had foresight to like see actually what was happening in 2020.
Yes, and that's why on my post, I was trying to figure out how to speak to people, but I was also terrified because there was other people speaking about things, and they were all getting hurt or disappearing or things like that. And people loved me enough to just allow me to be different. They bought vitamins, they did certain things, but they also probably thought I was out of my mind. I know a lot of people.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, like, did people actually think that you were crazy for predicting 2020?
Yes. And I don't,
Wow.
oh, absolutely. And I definitely got a lot of backlash from different people at different times, because the hard part about this is, oh, it's just sad, right? So when it comes down to race riots, you don't want to believe that that could be set up. Those piles of bricks might be somebody putting them there, because
Exactly.
this has been a real problem here. We do have to address the problems that we've had. At the same time, the amount of, like I said, bricks dropped off in different cities across the US while this is happening, just randomly.
Right.
I wish that, you know, I wish that a lot of these causes that we've been fighting for were of our own volition, but in reality, divide and conquer is a very, very useful tactic that has worked throughout the times.
Yeah, that's crazy that you actually. I think you told me that a long time ago. Actually, you were like, "Yeah, I'm psychic. I can,
I
tell
was
and stuff." I remember when we first met, you were telling me about that stuff.
Well, and I haven't always been right because, you know, the thing is, we're radio. What I mean by right is I've wanted some of this story to go a different way. Also, I wanted someone to come save us and all these things. But the good news is that we are here to come save us. That this is also, while there's a nefarious story going on here about enslavement that we don't even understand because we haven't really been taught about the real technology that's going on. This is also the evolution.
Right.
Um,
Right. No, for sure.
This is
Yeah.
the evolution of us. So we do have powers and things that are activated and ways through the body in order to meet these times.
Right. Right. Somebody said in the comments, we are the chosen ones. Yeah. And that's the
Yes.
thing. You got to look within. Everybody looks to the sky, and, you know, whatever your religion is, that's fine. I don't discriminate at all. Whatever you want to practice, but don't forget to look within as well. You know, all the answers are inside. So a lot of people forget that. So
Yeah, and when I say God, whatever God people have, it doesn't really matter. At the top, you know, for me, God is light and love and connection and unity and all those things. But definitely it is the time to go inward, because if we go outward, we're going to keep getting distracted and hurt by what's happening. And this is just the beginning of the story, you know,
right, for sure. Devon, oh, my brother's in here. Remember my brother Devon?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, was Devon the one saying, was she supposed to say that? No, Devon, probably not. But
yeah.
Know.
He said, are you still pursuing music, or is the business too dark?
Well, so that was a big part of why my life changed dramatically, because now that I'm looking around, you know, people might think I'm a conspiracy theorist, but I'm like, have y'all seen Kanye?
Yeah.
Where's 2008 Kanye?
I don't know. A lot of people were saying cloned, or the old Kanye is not here no more. There's another Kanye, and he does look different. I don't know. I mean, outside in, like, he does look different.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of people that look really different.
Right.
So no, I'm still making music. I actually just put a song out on my birthday. It's called "Don't Follow the Leader."
There you go. Go check that out, you guys. Go on Spotify. The song is hot.
Don't Follow the Leader. And I'm gonna keep putting music out. That was kind of just my first thing that I just needed to do for me, and also just because I've been really uncomfortable on the internet. I haven't wanted to do or say anything. It's just been a really weird thing for me, actually feeling so uncomfortable on the internet. But that was the first part of me reclaiming myself to get back out here.
Right, right. So another question is that, speaking of the music industry, have you seen anything, like, since you've been in the music industry, you've been in it a long time. Since then, you know, winning the Grammy and being at the height of, you know, the mountain, like being at the top of the top, have you seen anything since then that's really weird? You don't have to say names or anything else, but have you seen some really weird shit going on?
I won't even go into that at all, because I do know that that is a whole thing. But let me say that the entire time I've been in here, there's been a lot of things that have really struck me as odd. And when I've tried to change certain things within the system, I've hit so much resistance, and I could never understand why, because it was all about helping artists, making sure that, you know, they were in safe places and things like that. So, yeah, I can say now, at the consciousness and the place that I'm at, you know, I can really understand why I've had those feelings and really been navigated. Although I've been in here the whole time, I've never been able to quite fully get through there. And there's definitely a reason for that.
Okay. Somebody said 14 days left. What are you talking about?
Ooh, yeah. What are you talking
we got 14 days.
Let's go. Oh, stay awake.
But yeah, being in the music industry, like, you know, that's why, for me, I got out a long time ago, and then I got into real estate and started up that business and did well, and I still have that business as well. And now I'm, you know, doing this stuff, and it's somehow just came about and went crazy. Got a lot of viral videos and stuff, so it's a blessing that, you know, people are waking up. I'm just using my powers for good, and, you know, and the knowledge and discernment for, you know, for others to see it as well. So,
and I'm so grateful for that, because like I said, I became like so quiet inside of myself. You know, I don't know what it is about the internet that bothers me, but by way of you doing this and inviting me in, it also sets me free. So thank you, truly.
Yeah, sure, definitely. And I think that, there's so many ways now to, get the word out and, just question everything. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying I'm wrong, but that's even with my merch. This is my merch on the back. It says question everything.
I love
So
that.
I'm serious about that. You guys got to question everything. And, all this crazy shit that's going on, why not? Why not question everything?
Well, and even to be completely honest with you, even the information that I receive, I question all of it, because who even knows, right? So if technology is technology and we don't really understand technology, and you can send out all sorts of stuff, like I'm constantly, just even recalibrating myself, because it's a vibrational frequency. And whether, who knows what's really going on, but I personally think this is such an interesting story, such a wild way that we're waking ourselves up, waking up humanity. That's really what this is to me.
Right.
So
yeah, that's what it is.
But also, can we just talk about, because the one thing when people think this is crazy, like we don't know anything about Antarctica, and all the government agreed that we all shouldn't go see an ice cap.
Yeah.
What?
And in my video that I just posted, so about the ghost towns, I tied in what is going on in these massive areas of land. So did you know in Antarctica, there's not one, but two really strange name islands. One is called Deception Island, and the other is called Rothschild Island.
Boom. Done.
You can't make it up.
Done. What do y'all mean?
Yeah. So it's crazy. There's been numerous stories, even something called there's a glacier that is a no-fly zone. It's called it's in my video. I'm blanking out right now, but there's a glacier area that's a no-fly zone. And what happened is there was an excursion to go get somebody, because one of the crew members got hurt. So they couldn't get to the person in time, so they had to fly through this glacier that was a no-fly zone. So what happened was when they flown through it, there was a football-sized field hole that they saw. And they're like, what the fuck is that? And since then, it's been a lot of questions. And I think that happened back in the 90s. And after they got their person from the extraction, there's a guy in black who came and visited them and was like, hey, whatever you saw, you didn't see. And it was like, you're going to have serious problems. And that was documented. And it was crazy to hear that. I'm like, damn, what is actually going on in Antarctica? What is happening?
I believe there's so much more to this place. One thing that I'll say is, if anyone's ever read Plato's Cave, the allegory of Plato's Cave, right? There's something, for me personally, I do believe that there's a lot more out there than we've been told. And even as this process is going through, did you hear about the 7,000 islands that Japan just found?
Yeah.
It's a lot of islands.
Right. Yeah.
Where'd those come from?
Right.
There's, and that's why I'm really excited, because I'm not going to say that this is not going to be challenging. I do believe that the one thing that I deeply hope for is that we all turn inward, but we also come into unity, because that is the point of this process. At the end of the day, that all of the division that's been created by people that we don't even know exist, that we do have the opportunity to actually unite ourselves and come together in this whole conversation in order to even alleviate what comes next,
Right.
But on top of that, there's so much exciting stuff that's going to get revealed in the next year. At least for me, I'm so excited about it, because although they're the ones releasing it, it's still a really great thing that we're coming into contact with who we truly are and what's really been happening here.
So, okay. So with that being said, is there any more predictions coming up that you feel like there's going to be some events happening?
Well, your page would probably, there's, the financial, there's a lot, Project Blue being the financial, all of those things. And, when they're building, you have to think about what the plan is. If it's a one world government, which that is the plan in general, they have a lot of things lined up. But the things I'm excited about is that the sun is ascending us. I know a lot of people have been struggling with their mental health, because that's also part of technology we don't understand. So what we all really, not to say what we should be doing, but what I've been doing and what I've had a lot of people do is start to really, really work on on building out their brain. So when you looked at the Egyptians, they all had elongated skulls and things like that. We can also build out our brain. And, you know, Joe Dispenza, he teaches you how to, there's other ways to actually build it. Like, for example, I've talked to my guides and got a lot about shame. I said, what is the purpose of shame? It doesn't really do anything. It's the lowest vibrational frequency. So what purpose does it serve? Well, it doesn't serve a purpose. It's actually just part of how we all stay enslaved. If our left and right hemispheres don't sync, then we won't come into contact with our true selves. So as we continue to build out our brains and hemi-sync our brains, we're going to be able to do a lot more here as well. And so the things that I've been focused on, like if we talked 5 years ago, I was really focused on the hardship of what was coming because I couldn't really, it just all felt like too much. I cried a lot, to be honest. And the kids, I cried a lot about that. But now I'm excited because we're going to hemi-sync our brain. There's children coming to this planet right now that are far more advanced than we can even understand. And that is, you know.
No, for sure. And I think now we're first of all, we're in the age of information, right? So like you said, a lot of people are waking up. It's an exciting time. You know, before, you know, people were scared, but they were scared because they had the unknown in front of them and fear what you don't know. So now we know a lot of things. So now there's nothing to be afraid of. Now we know the next steps. So when it comes to, like, you know, the next pandemic or whatever it is, now we know. You know, we have some information. We have some data, some history to go off of. So it is an exciting time, and I'm heavy into cryptocurrency, and I think that that's going to play a big part in, like, this one world government and all this other stuff. And how money is moving and how these banks are failing, all that is, you know, one big, you know, plan. And I don't know exactly what's going to happen yet, but look at it. So we're talking about cryptocurrency. We're talking about aliens. That's going to unite or divide completely. So we're kind of in between.
With the alien thing, you know, I don't look at the internet or anything really outside of myself at this point because I just want to make sure I'm really in my own channel. But everyone was like, yo, you saw the alien drop, and I was like, no, I didn't, but it seemed like nobody cared. And I'm like, if also, I don't know how people do fully trust the government, because if they've had this technology and they've known this the whole time and haven't shared it, and then we're just like, oh yeah, of course that's true, like there seems to be an issue between, do you know what I'm saying?
And the thing is, like how you said nobody really cared. It's like, and also I did another video on this. Basically, when they announced it, it was just kind of like, oh, okay. And everybody's so desensitized. It's like we've been shown that so much throughout movies and TV and, you know, movie after movie, aliens attacking, aliens doing this. When it actually happens, like, it's like, okay, cool.
They're like, all right, bet.
What's next?
Yeah, and that's why what's next will be really interesting. But you're right about the crypto, absolutely. And just about the in terms of the financial aspect, I do believe that that's what's going to be next. But there is so much slotted just with the way they've been running politics and all these different things. I feel like there's a jam-packed fall coming in. You know.
So you don't have any crypto? Are you in crypto at all?
I have crypto. I don't even know if I was supposed to do that, but with all the info I was given, I actually deeply played the stock market with it.
Okay.
Now with the way that I'm learning it, I don't think I'm allowed to really be playing anything, because So now I still have the crypto I had before, but I definitely intuitively feel like I'm not allowed to really play ball in that arena right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I was kind of put on timeout in the past few weeks of learning.
Definitely. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm.
What's your favorite?
My favorite. So first, I have my own project called Jet Set Token, and it's a luxury booking platform for, like, homes and real estate. So it's like basically like rentals on the blockchain. So I'm biased. That's my project. Right. So I started that about 2 years ago. And then also, of course, Bitcoin. Ethereum is a little too centralized for me. I definitely love XDC, XYO, XRP. I'm into Algorand, AVAX. So I'm
You're
deep in
lit.
it.
Yeah, yeah. That's so tight. I got rid of my ETH too.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah. And
That's
I've been a little bit like the things I did get a few years ago, you mentioned a lot of them.
yeah.
But yeah, when someone said you can't play ball, I could, but it's kind of like I'm being asked to, because we're evolving, all of us are evolving. I'm being asked to focus my mind in certain ways without, other things. So that's all. And it doesn't really matter. I think all of us are intuitively connected to source. And so whatever we're receiving or feeling is really what we should all be doing. You know what I mean?
Right, for sure. So what do you have coming up as far as music? Like, do you have any more projects coming out or anything else new?
One thing I definitely I probably have like 20 songs I've written. I'm still looking for producers because the music industry, there's so many beautiful people inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I also just feel like with everything that's happened, and also the fact that I'm going to be making music like I did 10 years ago independently without giving a fuck about any of this, without,
That's the
because I
way to go.
really, yeah, I lost myself in all this. So I've just been waiting on producers and kind of just, so if any producers are here, slide in my DMs.
Yeah, producers for sure. She's super dope.
And
But that's dope though.
I've been also like doing a lot of like healing music that I'm going to be putting out on YouTube and stuff like that.
Right.
So
yeah, that's amazing because as you guys know, music is very vibrational and it's very powerful. It's a tool to be, used either good or bad. And I feel like the music nowadays it's very low vibrational, and we definitely need some uplifting stuff and more positive stuff for sure.
well, and I'm so excited because a lot of what I've learned about in the past few years is actually like tuning forks and all these different things. But so, the pyramids were built with sound. And all of those arches that we see are actually like portals of energy because they're built in the same shape as a tuning fork. So when you mix vibration with shapes, you can actually heal all sorts of things, just like you can distort. So I've moved my music into 432 and out of 444, 440. And, I've also found so many incredible artists that are doing the same thing. So they're taking back their music and actually incorporating healing tones. And that artist I love so much, Aniko, I feel like she's got so much healing in her music.
Yeah, she's dope. I actually want to get her for my Halloween event because I'm going to do a Maverick Approach event.
Lit.
Definitely want to get her. I want you to perform if you're down.
I would love to.
That would be dope. I want to get you. I love, I met, funny enough, I put Major, I don't know if you know him, he's on my deck.
Yes.
And, it's crazy because I put him on my pitch deck and I've been talking to a few sponsors. And then I went to an event and he's there and we actually connected. I'm like, this is crazy.
There it is.
Yes, the universe. So it was crazy. So now it's like, oh, these are the type of artists that I want and it's all coming together. But no, I definitely love to have you on there for sure.
I would love that. And I'm really excited about that aspect too. Like I said, I think there's going to be a lot of really tight like waves in music that are going to come up through the next year.
Right.
Deeply.
Right.
That
Right.
It needs to. And also too, just because, the other thing is the one thing I was really frustrated with is I had told everybody what was coming and people bought the stocks too and people did the stuff, and I'm not mad at anyone in particular, but when it came down to watching this whole thing unfold, no one said or did anything, and that's because the system is set up to enslave people. They're not allowed to speak about what they really want to. Maybe some artists are, but I would say it's like the majority bulk. It's time, because for me, my favorite artist, I don't know if you could see, no, but Joni Mitchell, she's on my wall. I believe artists are here to liberate people, to talk about the truth, and to actually be about that in history. And so I do think that that's really important, for anybody who makes music or has something to say to really do that at this time.
Right. No, for sure. And I think there's a
definite... Gazzo is amazing. He's one of those people.
Oh, for sure. For sure. If you guys have any questions, drop it in the chat. we'll definitely answer some questions. Keep asking those questions. But another question I have for you is, being that, you know, the space that you're in music and rap and everything, do you feel like it's beginning to be a little bit easier now that there's more women entering the space? Or do you feel like it's harder because of the type of content that they're putting out, where it's more sexualized and you're the exact opposite of that?
I think, you know, it's funny because I've been making music for so long. So like my first shows were like with Wu-Tang, right? And like I came
Crazy.
out of a Project Blowed in South Central. So that was a really long time ago. So for me, I've been here from the beginning of women rapping. There was only like when I say a few, I mean definitely nobody like me, and very, very, you know, there was like Raw Digga.
Right.
You know, so now I definitely see the amalgamation that I don't necessarily fit in, but I think because so many women are here, that it's a really great place that women can thrive in now. So I do think it's actually probably easier. And I also think just as a society and a culture, with the, you know, with what we're facing in the world, there's a huge opportunity for people that are speaking up to the surface of this. Because as culture continues, you know, as society continues to degrade, I don't know if we're going to want to be listening to the things we've been listening to.
Right, for
It
sure.
seems kind of crazy to me.
No, yeah, for sure. And it's that's why really for me right now, like the only people I listen to is like Larry June. I listen to Currency, and then besides that, I just listen to instrumentals now. So
I've been listening. I was listening to Beethoven today. I'm like, oh, this is where I'm at. Because that Masuro and Moto, the Japanese water, when you play Beethoven #5 for it, it's so happy. So that's really where I've been at.
Got you. Somebody said, "Are you ever coming back to the UK?"
Oh, absolutely, Dennis. I love you so much.
Yeah, so
Can't wait.
Be on the lookout for that.
I'm coming all over. I'm gonna get a backpack and just mob around the world this year.
I'm with it. Yeah, I've been ready to travel because like the last place I've been to was Thailand. I went to Thailand earlier this year.
Oh, it's lit.
I went to Dubai last year. So I've been popping in and out, and went to UK. That was probably like a year and a half ago. So I definitely want to you know, pop out a little bit more. Like I want to explore more and get out of LA and take the show on the road for sure. Somebody said how much you charge for a feature. Oh, you got to DM me for that.
Oh, I don't know. Slide in my DM.
Yeah. But sorry, what were you about to say?
They said we have a year. We have a long time. We got a year for. Oh, I was gonna say the thing about traveling. Like I love the UK. When I was in Greece, it's like these places are actually energetic portals that could really like rise your energy. When I was in Greece, I had a whole experience that really advanced my intuition and things like that. So I'm excited to go to Spain. That would be the next place.
Okay.
For me.
Yeah, I've been wanting to check out Spain. Spain is I heard it's dope, so I want to go check that out for sure.
Calling to me.
Yeah.
How long do you think you'll be in LA for?
You know what? It's always gonna be home, and I'll have some type of home base here. But I'm definitely looking at Miami, Vegas, and then I want to get a spot in Dubai.
Lit.
So have you ever been to Dubai? Yeah, they're crazy with it. They're crazy. Like, super clean. Like they don't have any homelessness. Like they got it all together over there. Like the median income is like $1 million there. Like so everybody's thriving. It's wild.
Big thriving.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that where America is going, it's gonna be hard to like. I'll stick around here, obviously, because this is home, but it's gonna be harder and harder to like stay around because of all the crazy shit that's happening, and I just can't be a part of like a deteriorating country. Like we gotta get our shit together.
Well, that's for me. That's the funny thing. I've been working on a school actually. I'm on the board creating children's schools, new schools, because we need new schools. I've been thinking a lot. I want to do something for the homeless. I feel like as long as I'm going to be in LA, I'm going to be in these streets doing something.
Right.
Because it is that, you know, it is that like, I've been so bothered by things, but finally in the past like year and a half, I was like, wait, why am I not just fixing all this?
Right.
You know? So I don't know. I don't know. I just hope over the next few months we kind of all come together in those ways. I
Right.
want to do like community gardens and,
Yeah,
you know.
dope. For sure. And the time is now. Like, you got to be a part of the change. You just can't wait on the change, you
No,
know?
because it's not going to happen without us. And I think that's the thing is that right now we're waking up to the fact that none of this has really made sense for a long time. But because we have, everything that happened was so confusing for me because I couldn't understand how people got so heightened and so angry immediately. But
Mhm.
when you really understand trauma and trauma responses, then all of this has made sense. But I feel like it's, we've also not wanted to take responsibility for ourselves
Yeah.
as a society and a culture. We really don't want to. We just want someone else to fix it, take care of it, deal with it. And that's kind of what we're looking at,
Right.
on a grand scale.
Right.
Like as
Right.
much as we have been, held down and oppressed in so many ways because we don't understand technology or what's been happening, and one group of people coveted the information of how to evolve,
Hmm.
and strip the books of the truth. But at the same time, we haven't wanted to know more or do more. So I
Yeah.
feel like this is a really beautiful time because I do see people coming together in elevated ways moving forward.
Yeah, for sure. And that's why, like, this page that I started, like, I was just doing it and just, for fun, and doing it for, just putting the word out there and just seeing what happens. And because I love creating content, like, this is like my second calling now. So, like, being that how fast all this blew up for me, and how responsive everybody was, and
Mm-hmm.
how crazy this page went, I'm like, okay, there's definitely more people than I thought,
Yes.
really into, figuring things out. What can we do? Presenting information or just questioning things. That's what you have to do. You got to question exactly, what is happening around you, because it's your world, it's your life. Are you just gonna go on and, agree with everything that CNN says, and Fox News and all these other guys they have their own agendas, or you're actually gonna question something? So it's up to you guys. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why, like, this page is, like, very inspiring. I was like, man, I gotta keep doing this. This is dope. So
It's incredible. And it's also beautiful because there's been so many people. I wish we could actually just have all these people on the screen with us on some level
yeah,
because the questions and what people are going through and,
yeah.
all of that.
Oh, here's a question for you. Somebody said, this is off topic, how do you feel about Earth may not being round? Are you a flat earther, or you're a round
Let's go.
earther?
Okay, so I'm not a full flat earther, nor am I a full round earther, right?
Okay.
I think we're somewhere in the middle of those two places. I do believe that there is a hole in Antarctica that exposes more land. I believe that there's more going on outside of us. I believe that there's rings, and as those rings expand, there's more land.
Got you. So you're saying that there's an ice wall.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that ice wall, there's more land,
Yep.
more stuff out there.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I've seen that map to where there's more lands, and, like, it gets deep, but basically these lands are other, like, wealthy families are, it's kind of like a Truman Show type of situation, to where we're the inner earth ice wall, and then there's outer earth, to where these families are, like, ruling from outside, and there's, like, the reptilians and all this other stuff. So it's interesting. It's an interesting take on that. Like, and I think that a lot of stuff is it's not out of the question now. Like, what we've seen over the last 5 years, like, nothing's off the table at this point, right?
That's exactly that. In fact, I think we should really, question what's going on a real deep level. I think most things have already been shown to us. It just seems so insane. And the reason that it's constantly shown to us is so that we actually can't believe it as it's happening.
Right.
It's like, well, that's just in the movies. Well,
Yeah, the movies have become
yep.
true. And that's the thing. Like, I always say this on my page. They always put it in the movies, and I show examples of how they put in the movies, made us desensitized, and then actually do it. So,
Someone just said, don't believe anyone's been to the moon. The moon? Can we talk about that? Yo, they said they didn't have the footage anymore because there was a tape shortage and they had to film over the moon landing. So all of the moon landing stuff that we watch is from the television brought back, but not from the official documents.
oh,
There was a tape shortage.
wow.
Uh-huh.
So with that, so you guys know that, there's a theory that basically um, the director who directed the moon landing is also the same director of The Shining. Okay?
No way.
Yeah. So his name is I gotta look up his name real quick. It's Rubric or
Stanley
something.
Kubrick?
Stanley Kubrick.
No, he did not do the moon landing.
So
Bro, I
here's the
love
thing.
the
So
writers.
here's
This is crazy.
the thing. If you watch The Shining, okay, it says on the kid's shirt, it says Apollo like 16 or something, right? He said it's right clear as day. His sweater says it. And then there's another a little Easter egg in that movie to where it was that, and then I believe it was something else on the wall, like I had a picture or something. But there's a lot of little Easter eggs in that movie.
See,
It's wild.
maybe that's what the tape shortage was. Stanley Kubrick had to shoot The Shining, so he had to go
Right.
over the NASA. I'm done.
Right.
I can't. See, that's why I do. At the end of the day, the one thing that I was told, it's a choice between love and fear, and I'm here to help children. But we do get to choose how we experience this moving forward. Like, if we fall into fear, it's gonna maybe be hard or some of this. But the best part is that they have moments like this where Stanley Kubrick did the moon landing.
Yeah. And that's a big theory that people have been saying that he actually did, because there's a lot of Easter eggs in The Shining, like trying to show you.
There's Easter eggs in everything. And in fact, there's also Easter eggs of how we can unravel the hypnosis we've been under. Because that's what this is, it's mass hypnosis. But if we, in The Simpsons, when they write 100 times, that's how you can undo your brain as well. So what I mean by that is you can flip all of this and reconnect yourself through actually writing 100 times, I'm well and I'm happy. You can manifest anything.
Of course.
So it's funny how they show you the hard part and also the good part, because we get to choose how we want to move through it.
Yeah. You guys, everything's about choice. And that's the thing. Like, nobody is forced to do anything. Everything they put in front of you guys is a choice. Mm-hmm. It's all about, it's left or right, red pill, blue pill. So it's not, they're not forcing you to do anything. So it's all about the illusion of choice. And then, like, they put these two things in front of you and say, okay, choose, or they're trying to influence you. Mm-hmm. But like she said, like, it's all about, like, because you can manifest anything. Like, if you put your mind to it, you meditate on it, you speak it, and you feel it before it happens, it manifests. Like, think about it. When you're like looking at a car, you're not looking at that car just appeared. It was a manifestation. Somebody had to think about that car first before they actually had to build it. Mm-hmm. So if you really think about it, your mind, your thoughts is what's real. Just how they build a house, same thing. They had to think about the design, think about how it looks, the garden, the backyard, the front, the doors, the windows, all that was in somebody's mind first. So then you start to build it and build upon that. So everything starts here.
I was going to say, you're such a professional at that too, just with the way your life is. I would believe that that's a total manifestation of you constantly attuning your thoughts, which is so important. And I wanted to say, for anyone struggling, water consciousness is so I've been doing quantum hypnosis, by the way. It's called QHHT, and I learned under Dolores Cannon, and it's all about restructuring the subconscious mind to, really help connect the hemispheres of the brain for people and also move forward. But a huge thing right now is a lot of people are struggling with those mental loops. And so if you are, watching the movie The Consciousness of Water with Masuro is really important for people who are struggling, because you can actually, a lot of what's happening right now that we don't understand is we are being hit with frequencies that are causing distortion. And so people are internalizing what they're stuck on loop about as though it's them. And in reality, you might just be stuck on the wrong frequency, and there might be something being sent to you to make you think that you're really having a hard time, when in reality, you're just on the wrong thing. So if you watch that movie, for anyone struggling, it'll deeply help you understand how you can get your own brain out of that frequency and escape the, you know, the entire thing.
For sure. That's super interesting. And going back to what you said about the Hemi-Sync, that is deep. So explain that for people who don't know, because I've done a deep dive on that.
Yeah, so the way that we're all enslaved is because there's frequencies going on to cause literal brain distortion. And so, you know, your television might be sending out a frequency that's not audible, that's causing your left and right to continue pulling further and further apart. For the people who are here, you know, who are in control of certain things, they know that hemi-syncing the brain will cause homeostasis in the body. They also know that if you pull enough and you also cause enough harm to the nervous system, that it's very challenging to get a full brain coherence. However, when you start operating from full brain coherence, where your brain is synced, where left and right are working together, that's why choose the left or the right, choose the left or the right. Well, we're actually supposed to choose the whole. And so Joe Dispenza is a great person who does that. I do certain things with my clients, and, you know, I work with people on brain syncing, but you can actually look up anything anywhere and start to practice those things. And by doing that, that's actually, like I said, we're all psychic. Some of us just maybe had a bit more trauma or whatever that forced that evolution a bit faster. But as we'll see over this time, as people start hemi-syncing their brain, absorbing the light that's coming in, which is the crystalline light, into our skin, we're all going to start to really evolve into telepathy and psychic abilities. And you've even seen all those kids online who are making things move, and you know, all of that is just a fact that that's who we've been. But because our brains haven't been hemi-synced, we haven't known that that's who we are. We're asleep to who we truly are and what we're truly doing here. And actually, you know, regardless of whatever religion, I've read all the books. I believe all of them are important because they all have a different piece of a code. I believe that Jesus came here to teach about quantum physics.
Got you.
Yep, that's what I believe. And I believe that this is quantum physics, and it starts with healing the brain and the nervous system, which has been under attack.
Oh, so. Yeah, for sure. And it's just gotten more aggressive and more advanced.
Yes.
With media, the music, and all this stuff that they put out. And a lot of people don't know that a lot of this stuff has already been declassified by the CIA.
Yep. You can actually look on there to figure out how to hemi-sync your brain.
Right. Yeah, I put a post on my page where it's a carousel, and it shows the declassified documents where about Hemi-Sync. It's about how the universe is a hologram projection, how astral projection is real. All this stuff is like not make-believe, you guys. And it's so funny because they always put it in the movies. I just went to go see a movie yesterday, The Haunted Mansion, right? In that movie, they're talking about astral projection. So I was like, this is crazy. Like the last few movies have either had something with cryptocurrency or astral projection. Like the other movie that just came out not too long ago, Insidious, they were talking about astral projection. So all this stuff is declassified now.
Yep.
All this stuff is real. It's already documented. They've done tests way back in the 70s and 80s and all this other stuff. And then it's just putting it out. But it's showing you like documents like, hey, this is actually, we have data behind this.
100%. And that's actually, you know, when we talk about God and then the body, right? So the soul, the connection to source, whatever you want to call it, and then the body, the physical body has been implanted with shame. Like I said, shame can only exist in the prefrontal cortex of your brain. It's the only place it exists. If you had a stronger prefrontal cortex, you wouldn't experience shame. It's an amalgamation of the game that we're in. The experience we're choosing to have. It's something that happened here to create that. So as we start to, you know, turn inward and really do all that work, and you can find it all, and you can even just watch the movies, then this will be a very interesting time. And
Yeah.
that's why the fear doesn't need to exist, because yeah, there might be a plan, and there definitely is, and we're watching it and experiencing it. But you'll notice that some of us, as we continue to move out of that consciousness, are not necessarily in those parts, or as we go through it, we're able to deal with it better. You know, it doesn't
Right.
mean that things aren't going to happen, because things have already happened to me personally, and tons of things have happened to all of us, you know, but we do get to choose how we're reacting. And this half is the beast, you know, when they say, you know, it's basically like the beast lives inside of us, and we have to actually get control over our computer programming.
Right.
Because
Right.
this is a place of senses, and we're caught in the senses. So, yeah.
A matrix, if you will.
Yep. A matrix of the senses. The thing is that this, our souls came here to transmute the body. There's 114 pathways through the body. You can escape the body. However, because some people took the information and kept it to themselves, and they took out in the books reincarnation and all the other tools, now the body has denigrated the soul. So with the ascension and what's happening now, we're being asked to get into more discipline with ourselves, to understand that we are souls here to transmute this body out of the senses. The senses are hell, you know. So
Yeah.
and as this frequency rises, with the things that they have planned, we need to really take personal responsibility to feed ourselves good things, so that we can continue to raise in consciousness, because we can change everything if we do that.
Right. And that's the thing, like, again, the information's out there. Somebody said they appreciate this dialogue. That's what we're here to do. We're here to give you guys the information. And I hope you guys are screen recording this. Like, free game. Like, she's giving y'all some gems right now. She's teaching
You are.
some real shit right now. So this is what we need to hear.
Hi,
sure.
Haley.
You guys have more questions? It's like, you in the Matrix. Do you think there's any truth to the movie? Of course.
Yeah,
The movie The Matrix is probably one of the single most important movies of all time.
Yes.
Like, it's one of my favorite movies, for one. It's just, it has so many lessons in it. So many lessons. So many things are in that movie that are so true today. Like, when it comes down to, like, what you're, you know, eating, what you're drinking, you think it's real. It's like the fake food and all this stuff that you guys are you know, interacting with every day. It's not real.
No.
None of it's real.
And in fact, you can actually change. So like, if, you know, there's been studies done, a million studies done, that if you feed an animal organic food but talk, you know, or you feed it, organic food but talk terrible to it, and then you take another animal and you feed it poison but you pet it and tell you, you know, I love you so much, I love you so much, the one that has poison will be healthier in the blood work than the other one.
Yeah.
That's it. None of this is real. It's really what you're putting your time and focus into, because you're very powerful. And so whatever you believe, you know, I had gone through a lot of different health things throughout this past few years, starting a long time ago. And I went to Western medicine and I tried it their way, and I spent so much money and all this stuff. And I finally was like, you know what? I'm just going to stop doing all this. So I started to think differently and talk differently and act differently and eat differently. It was gone. In a week, I was on tour. I'd been in a wheelchair, right? So everything is a state of mind and a choice. And what we are thinking about will become the reality that we have to live inside of.
Right. No, facts. Well, I'm definitely glad you're better, and, you know, you seem much more healthier and much more, you know, light and vibrant.
Great.
Sure. So, oh, somebody said, I know the movie, it's hated on, but I believe the movie Don't Worry, Darling has a lot of truth to it.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I haven't seen that.
You got to check it out. I don't want to give it away, but it's very telling of what can happen and what's happening right now. Go check that movie out. It's called Don't Worry, Darling. Like, they always put it in the movies, you guys. They always put it in the movies. I know we got 5 minutes left because IG only allows an hour. But before we get off, let us know where to find you. Let us know if you got any shameless plugs. Whatever. Let's go.
I mean, I don't even, please go check out my song, Don't Follow the Leader, if you'd like to. I'm just, really, if there's any producers in here, that want to slide in my DMs, I would love that. And I'm just really grateful. Sirah says on the internet, but I'm already tagged with you,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, sure. And I got some producers I can link you with too, for sure.
I would love
Um,
that. Anyone who's fine with getting maybe a little bit canceled around the edges, holler at
right.
me.
Sure. But no, I definitely appreciate your time. You know, you've been a cool, solid, great friend over the
I'm
years. Like,
so grateful for
I
you, truly.
definitely want to, you know, keep in touch. We definitely got to do this again. And we'll do it in person next time. So at the podcast studio and all that. So check out my YouTube, everybody. It's Maverick McFly on YouTube, or you just type in Maverick Approach. And then, of course, my IG is Maverick Approach, and my Twitter is Mav Podcast. But yeah, man, like I definitely appreciate it. We definitely got to do this again. You got to be my co-host, to be
I
honest.
would absolutely love to be honest, because I never get to talk about things that, and I feel like I'm always learning something fascinating that I'm like, nobody wants to hear this right now. This is crazy, bro, but it's so tight. Someone had just asked what the movie was. I think it's called Water Consciousness. Uh, Water Consciousness by, it's Wasaru Emoto. Go check it out. It's really important because I drink out of a cup of water labeled love every day and all sorts of stuff. But that'll be a really good thing for anyone struggling with mental health, anything. Go check it out.
There you go. So, but yeah, we definitely got to chop it up. Because I've been going hard on this, and I want to translate all this to YouTube as well. So I'm starting to put up like all these lives on YouTube, but I'm turning this into like a full blown show because I'm starting to get hit up by sponsors and all that stuff. So everything's coming really fast, but definitely want you part of this. So if you definitely talk.
I would absolutely love that. And thank you guys so much. Hi, Britt. Bye, Britt. I love you guys.
For sure, for sure. Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you, everybody, for joining Maverick Approach. Go follow Sirah. Go hit up her song right now. Don't follow the leader on Spotify right now. Make sure you guys hit up my store. It's live now, maverickapproach.com. Use the code TRUTH. It's 15% off. Go support. I got some merch up there. I got hoodies. I got T-shirts. So I appreciate everybody on here. And yeah, until next time, you guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much. I deeply appreciate everybody, and I had so much fun.
All right.
All right.
I'll see you later.
Bye.